What's good? What's good? This is Stico. Hey, do me a favor, subscribe to the channel. Once you're done with this video, share this video and hit the notification bell to get notified. Let's get into it. As a father, you got a huge responsibility. If you have a daughter, if you have a son, you're responsible to make sure they do the right things in life. There are going to be moments they're going to be difficult. There are going to be days you're going to question, why did I have kids? But God is not going to put something in front of you can't handle. So be patient. Listen a little bit more. I'm learning through this process. I'm not, hey, look, my childhood trauma that I had as a kid, I feel like I project that sometimes to my kids. And I wrote something down and it got to me because I said, just because I went through certain things in my life and my kids are not going through it, that doesn't mean they're not going through it. The pressure of being successful, being good in school, trying to make friends, trying to fit in with this generation is difficult. So instead of me judging, I try to listen more. Luckily, I have a good circle around me because I've heard stories, I've seen certain things, and it's shocking to see it and hear about it because I would never have thought that that person as a father would do certain things. And I don't want to jump into that because yeah, it's not my business. I mind my business. Even though we have the conversations all the time about certain things. And let's talk about it, man. Teofimo Lopez and Teofimo Sr., right? What a dynamic duo. Kobe and Shaq, Pippen and Jordan, Karl Malone versus Stock. You know what I mean. However, I think that certain things might not work out because it ran its course. I remember having a conversation with my oldest one time because he was working with me at a specific job that I had. And, I tried to take him under my wing and show him the ropes. But things got a little bit intense because we have differences. And I looked at him and I said, look, I'd rather have you as a son than an employee because it could lead to other bad things that I don't want it to lead to that. But that's being a good father, realizing saying, hey, you know what? This is not going to work. Teofimo needs that right now. He needs a different coach, different direction. It's not working out like he thinks it is. And I'm just looking for the outside in. The reason why I say that is because when I see him in certain interviews, his dad, there's no accountability. There's always pointing the finger saying, well, you didn't do this. And if you would have worked on this, it would have worked out like this. Instead of saying, you know what did I do wrong? Maybe they'll address certain things behind closed doors, but when they bring it to a light, when they talk about Shakur Stevenson and the reason why Teofimo didn't do what he was supposed to do, he couldn't dodge a jab to save his life. And mind you, his dad is out there saying, that's not my son. So who is he, bro? And this is where you got to separate the trainer from the father. He's not your son in that ring. That is your boxer. That is the person that you are training to get to the level that he's at. That's not your son anymore. And that's the hard thing to view because when you look at it, you could tell Teofimo goes through a lot. And look, I'm not the biggest fan. At one point, I really believed that Teofimo could have been that face of boxing, but he has said some crazy things, and I'm like, Teofimo, sit down. What are you talking about? Why are you talking about other cultures like that? To get attention, that's not the way to go about it. You know how you get attention? Knocking people out, showing your skills, the level that you at. And you've seen it time and time again. The thing is with Teofimo, one day he's hot. You like, man, that dude looks unstoppable. He could be something great. And then you see him in another fight and you're like, bro, is this your first time getting in the ring? That's a professional? And that's what I mean by having the good circle around you. Y'all remember when I said that at the beginning? The reason why I'm in a good position, the things that I do, because I got a good circle around me. That means you got to have a good woman around you. You got to have good parents around you. You got to make good choices because these people are right there watching you day in, day out, and they're watching and saying, hey, you're not doing something right. Let's go ahead and fix this. See, when I think that Teofimo needs to do, this is just me thinking logically, I think he just got to get rid of his dad as a trainer and say, hey, dad, I appreciate you got me to this point. Now it's time for me to actually venture out and do my own thing. Because as a father, you know how proud a father would be to say, hey, you did it without me. I can't picture my dad saying, hey, because of this, I did this. You know, it's going to be a lot of, I did this for you, but what have you done for me? My father has guided me as far as he could. Once I stepped out that door and had my own kids, now I have a responsibility in looking at my kids a certain way and teach them certain things that my father couldn't teach me. Because the things that he taught me are not the same to what I'm gonna teach my kids. I'm not gonna be the aggressive person, whatever my dad was to me. I can't be that with my kids, and that's the problem with Teofimo's dad. He's not realizing that, hey, when you saying, hey, that's not my son, that lets me know everything I need to know. You looking at him from a father to son instead of a trainer to a boxer. When I'm out there training you, this is who I am as a person. If you can't separate it, y'all will always come across these problems. Imagine, right? You have one of the biggest fights of your career, and the biggest supporter that's supposed to be your trainer. From what we saw, he had issues with alcohol, allegedly. I don't know if it was 100%, but it looked like dad wasn't there. Dad was doing something else. He wasn't there next to his son. And as we all know, in those kind of combat sports, you need somebody tough, somebody that's going to hold you down, make you see a clear path, because you could get lost. You can't have a mother, because a mother at that moment, when my mama, when she seen me bruised up with the eye, got a black eye, she like, what happened? I'm like, nothing, mom. Then when my dad was like, what really happened? I said, I got into a fight, dad. And he's like, okay, tell me that. And I told him what happened. He's like, all right, did you protect yourself? Now imagine I was telling that to my mom. My mom would look at me and be like, stop fighting, stop doing that. That's not you. It's a different emotion. It's okay. You can have both. But when it's the biggest moment of your career against somebody like a Shakur Stevenson, you need your father on point, like Teofimo said. We all need to be synced in together. We can't do this separately. And that's the issue. Teofimo, youngin, he needs to say, you know what, Dad, I appreciate it, but I think our time is done. You have to, it's going to hurt. It's going to be painful. But you got to realize it now before it goes any further than what it is, because it's not getting better. It's inconsistency. And you need consistent structure, discipline, and focus so you can keep going. You need somebody in your corner that's telling you, hey, you need to do this. Instead of, hey, man, you need to, you know better than, you ain't got no advice for me. Like when I think about my pops, right? If I go to him and he ain't got no advice for me, what are we doing here? Pops, I'm coming to you because I got a problem. Can you help me? Or if you can't help me, let me figure it out then. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Do y'all think Teofimo needs to get rid of his dad at this moment? He's facing Rolly Romero. Rolly Romero has gotten better. And that's the fight that he's stepping into. And if Teofimo gets knocked out, what are we going to say then? Is he done? He's cooked? Or is it the issue that the father is not consistent like his son? Focus and discipline. Y'all let me know in the comment section. Do me a favor before y'all leave. Subscribe to the channel. I appreciate all the love and support on mi gente. I hope you're doing good, taking care of yourself physically, mentally, spiritually, financially, wherever you're in your life. Please take care of yourself. Do me a favor. Check out the website r2drec.com. Purchase your merchandise. The EP will be available September 30th. Mood Swings. And y'all, I'm working on the second part. Man, I'm excited. I told you I ain't dropping the ball this time, man. I'm shooting, taking every shot. Take 100 shots. At least one goes in. I'm doing something right. Yeah, you know what it is, man. Hey, have peace in your heart, have faith, and never give up. And I'll see you on the next one, all right?